Well, too. I'm not sure how long this one's going to be. This is one of those print-on-demand books. It's the Fermi Paradox. Where are all the aliens by Alexander Bostic. So this thing was first published on August 17th, 2017. It looks like. I don't remember saying 2017, but we're just going to go with it. Does this give me a date? This is the second edition, by the way. There is a first edition out there somewhere that the author says don't read. 2020, that's what I thought. I don't know why I wrote down 2017. Don't listen to me. I'm on drugs. So this is just a little print-on-demand thing. It costs a whole whopping $5. And so in my science class, I wrote a paper on using radio waves to communicate to the aliens. And one of the things that I was thinking about is the Fermi paradox, which essentially is what was his name? Enrico Fermi. I think in 1950, was having a lunch with a bunch of scientists, and they were talking about aliens and stuff. And just out of nowhere, Fermi blurts out, "If there's life, if life is so common, then where is it? You know, essentially, why aren't they here? Why aren't they swarming our planet and our planet and why aren't we seeing them, you know?" And which there's a whole lot of different reasons for that. And so basically this book, it talks about some other things. Like it goes into like a little talking about like, are we alone? Like Kardashev scale, which is like the different scales of what civilizations could be, if I remember correctly. But what I was more interested in was the solutions to the Fermi paradox. So basically it goes through a bunch of different ideas. I believe there's 20 of them. Yeah, it looks like 20 of them, of why maybe we don't see why aliens aren't so common in our solar system. And so like the Great Filter, which is like at some point there might be a level where intelligent life just can't get past, where life in general can't get past. And one of the thinkings is that actually it's a good thing that we aren't seeing a bunch of different intelligent life forms, because maybe we broke through that filter already. Maybe the filter is just creating single-celled organisms, or maybe the filter is that bacteria or you know, insects or whatever, and it just happens that we broke through that barrier. You know, if there's a whole bunch of intelligent life out there, then that would kind of mean that we haven't hit that barrier yet, or more than likely, you know, haven't. It could be that, you know, they've seen evidence of us blowing up nuclear weapons, and they think, oh my god, these people are insane, let's just stay away from them. Or maybe it's just because we're not listening close enough, or maybe we don't have the technology to figure out how they're communicating, or maybe they're using just different things, you know, just different reasons of why. Maybe, you know, maybe it's just not smart to broadcast where you are. You ever think about that? METI. You know, maybe there's some predator life forms out there somewhere and that we don't know about, and you know, everyone's like, shut up, they're gonna come find you, you know, that sort of a thing. Or maybe it's just too gosh darn expensive. You know, it takes a lot of energy to travel hundreds of millions of light years and stuff. Not to mention just the, you know, we think of it as, you know, if there's something 100,000 light years away, we don't think you can travel faster than the speed of light. So it would take 100,000 years for them to get here. Who's to say they didn't get here 100,000 years ago? I was like, oh, there ain't nothing going on here, and just kept driving off. Or maybe they're on their way, and and we end up wiping ourselves off the face of the planet, and then they swing by, oh, there's nothing going on here. Just, and it might be too, you gotta think about it. Radio waves travel at the speed of light too, right? So we're assuming that they had the same trajectory technology-wise, correct? So even something like Alpha Centauri B, which is like four light years away or something like that. If we did a back and forth conversation, it would take 8 years. 4 years to get here, 4 years to reply. 4 years to get here, 4 years to reply. How long will that go on? That's just the closest. And we already know pretty much that if there's anything there, they ain't speaking. So you got to think of something farther. So if there's something 400 light years away, if we were able to make contact with them, every conversation, it'd essentially be, how you doing today? 400 years. Just fine, thank you. 400 years. It's just not feasible, right? And that's assuming that they kind of started at the same time we did. So if they're more advanced, if they're, if something is 100 light years away and they're 1,000 years more advanced than us, how likely are they listening for radio waves? That's 19th century technology, essentially. They'd be in the year 3000. You think over the past 100 years, how much technology has changed, add another thought. That'd be basically like us sending emails to the Buddha. We're waiting for the Buddha to reply back to our email. Well, the Buddha doesn't know what the internet is. That doesn't exist to them back then. Hey, the Buddha doesn't know how to log into Hotmail or Gmail or any of that stuff. So it could be they could be sending out signals, and we just simply are too stupid to know what they're talking about. They could be, whether it be neutrinos or something that we don't even know of yet. So it's just it's really an interesting thing to think about. If something's been around 1,000,000 years longer than we have, you'll forget about it. It'd be like handing a Tyrannosaurus Rex an iPad and asking it to play Animal Crossing or whatever. I guess that'd be a switch. Hand a Tyrannosaurus Rex and ask it to play Animal Crossing. That'd be like something that's millions of years more advanced than us. We wouldn't even recognize the technology. So, unless they were a really dumb species and they had 1,000,000 years head start, but they just sat around and smoked weed and drank beer all day, and it took them 1,000,000 years to get to our 19th century technology. So anyway, the Fermi paradox, where it all begins, by Alexander Bostic. Fermi paradox is really a cool thing to think about. It's just you can really kind of drive yourself crazy with it, I think. So let me know down below, have you read The Fermi Paradox by Alexander Bostic? I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I apologize, Alexander, if I'm saying your name incorrectly. Do you ever think about the Fermi Paradox? Is this the first time you ever heard of the Fermi Paradox? Let me know down below. That's it for this one, peeps. Cheers.